Okay, this is a video improvised in English. You know, in my channel I always have video in French, and sometimes I feel so sad about the fact that I'm not sharing this big teaching and things that transform my life and so many others also in English and in Italian. So I just recorded a video in Italian and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it in English too. And always the thing that is always blocking me from doing video in English or Italian is, but even in French to be honest, is the fact that every time I should sit with the camera, with the microphone. You can see the camera over there, and this is such a big work, when in reality I can just grab my phone and record like that. So this is gonna be a really spontaneous video and probably one of many others, and I hope you can just grab a cup of tea and just listen to what I want to share with you, because what I'm going to share with you is so transformative. It's such a big and beautiful teaching, something that changed everything for me and for so many other people. And so there we go. The thing, even we can just start talking about what my brain was just doing now, right? Was creating all these kind of blocks and thoughts and idea. It's not even block is already a definition. It's just thoughts. It's just so many thoughts about you. Yeah, you want to do a video, but you should do it like this, and it's not professional to do it like that, and you should take the camera. It's not gonna, and then it's like, oh, but I don't want to take the camera, but I don't want to do it. So many stories, and probably even taking the camera and just sit there is not even such a big deal, and it's making it such a big deal, making me resisting from the idea of doing it, right? And it's so crazy because now that I'm doing this video in English, it's so easier for me to speak English than Italian. And this is the other thing. It's like, oh, you know, you don't know how to speak Italian anymore. You forget all the words. You mix them with Spanish and French and blah, 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 blah. So, and these are what the brain does, right? And the crazy thing is that all this time we have believed that we are our thoughts. All this time we have listened to these thoughts like they are important, relevant, personal. They have something serious to tell us, and we have to listen because they're gonna prevent us from this and this to happen, or they're gonna allow us to have this and that. And it's not like that. It's such a big illusion. We live in a dream. We continue to listen this thought without seeing that it's just the psychology activity of our brain. It's just what the brain does, and it hasn't big information to give us at all. There is something that we are behind thoughts. There is so much greater and powerful and beautiful, and is a deeper knowing. It's not in an intellectual knowing like the brain. It's a knowing, it's a being, it's something that is always guiding us, and we are always supported and always safe. And because we believe our brain, we react to all these thoughts, react to all this activity, and we act in life, and like me right now, reacting, I don't want to take the camera, so I just have my phone, or oh, it's better to not do a video in Italian. You don't know how to speak Italian anymore. Just reaction to thoughts. But when we become little by little, just a little bit more present, and we observe this activity happening through us, we can just watch it from a little bit farther, not that close. And what happens is that, oh, okay, this is just thought. I don't have to believe it true. I don't have to react to that. I don't have to do anything with that, actually. I can just leaving it there, letting it be with the emotion they're coming with. Because I'm not the weather, I am the sky behind. And we don't do that. What we do when we don't know this, when we are not still awake to this, what we do is just following all the thoughts and believing it true, and we are in this big dreamland. But when we start little by little understanding this new paradigm that I'm sharing with you, and understanding that we are not all this activity, what happens is that we find something behind. Because we're not the weather, we are the sky. And the sky we forgot. But when we were a baby, we were just there, and life was happening through us, for us, and emotions were happening through us. We didn't define them or conceptualizing them or rejecting them or avoiding them. They were just happening. In an emotion, before calling it emotion, it's just energy. It's an energy, and it's the same energy that is moving the plants and making a flower grow, blooming. It's exactly the same energy. And then what happened, that we started believing in this identity that we have, right? And we believe in, I'm Claudia, I'm born in Sardinia in Italy, and my name is surname is Anatella, and I'm Italian, and blah 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 blah, and I have this body, me, I am this body, different from this person, and you and you and you, because we live our reality through our senses. And so we forget that we are consciousness. Because if there is someone that is talking in our head, someone that is constantly speaking and talking, this voice, these thoughts, then who's the person who's listening? The observant of all that. We are the consciousness. And please check by yourself. Don't believe my thing's true. There is a part in you that knows beyond the intellectual knowing. And there is a part that go way beyond words. There is something bigger that is listening now what I'm saying, and something resonate. And maybe there is a part of you that is trying to resist it and understanding it and say, how it's possible that? And please just check that. Check who's that saying that? Who's this analytic, intellectual part you want to understand? And just observe it. Don't do anything with that. Just observing it to be there, wanting to grasp it and understanding it is still the mind, because beyond the mind there is something that knows who you are behind the mind. And again, you're not the weather, you're not this activity, you're not this thought that is happening, you are the sky. And so when we understand this, how our life can change when we actually start living through those lenses, through this new paradigm. I can tell you this, I never been so peaceful in my life. I've been having a lot of anxiety in my life, living with anxiety all my life, having reaction to the anxiety. So I had addictions and habits that were there just because my brain didn't want to stay with that emotion that was so scary for my brain. And I discovered something that I forgot, and I came back to peace. And this doesn't mean that sometimes, of course, my brain starts going everywhere again, and then a few maybe hours later or minutes later, who knows, I'm like, ooh, where I was gone, I was in dreamland again, and I was listening to all my thoughts. And then I come back to presence, and then I come back to who I really am, and peace is always there, because it never went away. Peace is what I am. Peace is everything I have always been, but I forgot because I thought that I was what my brain was saying. I thought I was my thoughts. And so my life changed drastically in a beautiful way since I discovered this teaching. And there are, of course, like so old teaching, the Buddhism, Bible, yoga philosophy, things that our masters, guru, and enlightened person are trying to explain us from centuries, and we don't listen because the mind doesn't want to listen, because we are listening through the mind. But when we actually listen through a part of ourselves that is different from the mind, because this part is there, it is listening, it knows this part is there. When finally someone points us in that direction, we are already in the right path. When actually someone finally points us in that direction and we are ready to listen because our system is finally ready to listen, or for whatever reason, just a change of perspective change it all. And the more I live through this new way of seeing life, the more my life is changing. My partner the other day said, "You changed so much, you're so peaceful." We are so peaceful, and things happen. It doesn't mean that life stops, but we live it so differently. I don't know. I truly wish for everyone to experience this. It's the most beautiful thing, and my words could never achieve to explain what it is, but only when you experience it, you know. Because everybody is always speaking and talking about inner peace and freedom from the mind and this and that, but only when actually finally you touch it and taste it, you understand that before you didn't understand anything about it. You were trying to understand it when you were reading all the books and trying to all the personal growth stuff, but only when you actually taste it and experience it, wow, then you understand this was always there. And all the anxiety, all the stress, all the intrusive thought, OCD, habits, you see them differently, and little by little they start losing also their power, because they were creation of the mind. And when you start seeing the mind, you saw the game. So I hope that you find this video in the right moment for you. I always believe that wherever your language is, and wherever you are, and whatever you were doing, this video had to come to you. And if you're listening, there is a reason. So leave me please a comment. I will be so happy to hear it. And I see you soon. Bye.